This video was brought to you by Elbilmek, ABRP, Stormberg, Kempower and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? Today we're gonna test the new Kia EV6 facelift. It has gone through some changes and it is now even better than before. I mean, it was already almost perfect before, so maybe now we have the perfect EV. So first, it has now 84 kilowatt hour battery. It charges at 260 kilowatt, just like the Ioniq 5. But then there are some improvements inside also. But I can show you outside. We have now the new front, more aggressive front. I like it. It doesn't have any aerodynamic advantages, so still the same efficiency as before, supposedly. But yeah, there are some stuff inside that has been improved. But you know, the looks here, man, it's growing on me. You know, when I saw the E60 that came out in BMW E60 in 2004, didn't look that great initially, but then I started liking it. And also the same with the EV6. Initially I didn't like it, especially the back. Now I kind of like it. What's up with that? Huh? Okay. And then, all right, let me show you in the back here. Still have the same nice back seat that can be reclined. In the front now, they have put more premium material in here. Meridian sound system. Look. Oh. So better, nicer looking interior. We have the EV9 big screen now. We have a different steering wheel here. Other than that, I don't remember how the old EV6. Oh yeah, they remove lots of the piano black. There might be a little bit of piano black here, but the rest is more matte, which is better, of course. I mean, if you look in the airplane cockpit, do you see lots of piano black, or is it just matte, or just covered with buttons? And then, okay, we have to test something. Okay, so they claim that the sound system is also better. We need to test that. When it comes to battery capacity, we don't need to test that too much. So here we have car scanner, 18 to 27 degrees Celsius. Try to heat up the battery. So we will just drive a regular route now. Wait for the lag. Okay, it seems like the snappiness has not been improved. Just drive a loop here and back again and measure the consumption, and then we see how far we can drive. And wow, it's cold outside. Ooh, -1 degree Celsius and windy. All right, we're on the move. So we have a head-up display here. That's nice. It's not that big. It doesn't have any AR and the fancy stuff there. Not even showing the playlist here, unlike in BMW. But fairly large instrument cluster showing lots of useful information here, like battery, percentage here, the trip meter, speed. Yeah, we're done now doing the high-speed tests. And then here in the navigation, we see where we're going. And if we click here, we can also see how many percent we will arrive with. I'm not sure how accurate that is. But one thing I noticed, I'm not sure if I can show you guys right now, but the car does slow down in the curves like a Toyota driver. And Kia claims that they have improved the soundproofing and reduced the noise by 1 decibel. Well, I can feel like it is a nice and quiet car. Yeah. But okay, we just happen to have Nokian and Hakkapeliitta R5 EV tires. They are very quiet, and they also have the acoustic foam. But also another improvement is the ride, the handling. They have improved the suspension, and man, it feels nice and comfortable. Oh, it's almost unbelievable that we get this car with this nice handling and ride for this price. Huh? And then how's Mjøsen today? Well, a bit windy. Oh wow, very windy. Yeah, so that's not optimal for the efficiency here. So it's hovering at 279 watt-hour per kilometer right now. Let's see, this is usually where it would slow down. Oh no, it doesn't do it. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it was a very rare case that I saw a slowdown in the curve. Yeah. Alright, the result is 256 watt-hour per kilometer. Distance seems to be roughly correct. Yeah. Okay, now let's try the 90 test. The battery has cooled down a bit. We're down to 1423. It's scavenging heat from the battery. Well, actually, yeah, I think it should still be scavenging heat. So that also reduces consumption. And the Meridian sound system now is supposedly better with improved bass. Well, let's try out. Okay, still sounds nice and clear. A good warmth also in the tones, I like it. Yeah, I can feel already in this song that there's more presence of the bass. So as usual, I use USB stick with uncompressed wave files for the best sound. Okay, here I can hear that when the bass goes to the deepest, it has lower volume there. What I'm saying is that it's not linear, so it seems like it cannot maintain the deepest bass. And this song is perfect because the bass goes up and down in different tones. It sounds really pleasant to listen to. Yeah, it sounds good. Now this song I want to listen to some rattling in the doors, usually caused by mid bass in the doors here. No rattling there, that's good. Okay, last song. Yeah, here also I can hear the bass, but it's not only about the bass. The rest of the stereo sounds nice and clear, crisp, lots of detail. I like it. But also that bass to kind of fill the gap, lift the experience. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. One last thing I should test. Now I need to. How do I skip in the song here? Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna listen to some distortion now. Let's crank up the volume. Okay, the microphone will of course distort there, but at least my impression is that it has very little distortion. You can play it really loud and it goes quite uniform up there. Some weaker systems, especially weaker amplifier or subwoofer, once you crank up the volume, the higher tones and mid-tone will go louder, but the bass just caps and starts clipping. So yeah, here it's good. This is good stuff, man. If I would give it a score, maybe an 8. Yeah. Recently, or actually a while ago now, I tested the Audi Q6 e-tron, which has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, and I was just blown away how good it was. Nice and deep. And the same also with the EQE with the Burmester. So they are still a top notch, but this is still a good second. 2 thumbs up. Okay, let's check the weight of the car. Front axle 1100. Oh, really? Whole car 2240, right? The weight has increased by only 20 kilograms with bigger battery. Impressive. And also better soundproofing. Wow. Okay, so now that it is 1 degree Celsius over here, then the car consumes around 1 kilowatt for heating. Yeah, that's not too bad. We have, of course, heat pump and also heat scavenging here. So it takes leftover heat from motor, battery, or other components, onboard charger, but it's not active right now, to heat the cabin. But I'm not sure how many modes it has. It doesn't have as many modes as Tesla. But yeah, you can see some stats. Here's the remaining energy at 50%. We have, yeah, okay, also the state of charge scale is not linear, in case you guys are wondering. And then also here I can show you that if you scroll down to this screen here, you see that it's using only the rear motor when it's just cruising. Oh, sorry. Right, we test only until this point here at Strandlycha. So that's a 66 kilometer loop, or I think it's actually 65.7 or something. But yeah, I noticed that, you know, this is not a typical SUV. It has nice handling. Sorry, the phone is moving sideways here. It says something about the lateral forces here. But almost no body roll when you drive in the roundabouts. Yeah, I like this. I mean, it's no EV6 GT, but I mean, it's still a very nice day-to-day drive. Right, this time consumption was 187 watt-hour per kilometer, but I mean, it's -1 degree Celsius outside. Winter is coming, or it has arrived. But now the battery is at 8 to 18 degrees Celsius. Ooh, and we have 44.5% state of charge. So I wonder how slow we charge now. Let's plug it in at Ioniq and see. Okay, 75 kilowatt. Wait, is that the same as the cold battery we had in the Ioniq 5 when we went to Hemsedal? Huh. Yeah, it's not the worst. Okay, but now, okay, the battery wants to heat up. But it might take a while. Okay, after a couple of minutes, we are already at almost 100 kilowatt. It was at 100 a little bit before we started recording now. 88 right now. Battery is at 11 degrees Celsius. Wait, wow, it heats up kind of slow. Yeah. And see, now we have low sun over here. So then the sun visor can pivot, but it can also extend. Huh? Not many cars can do that. So how was the consumption today versus an EV6 we tested many years ago? Well, it seems to be roughly the same. That EV6 test back then had slightly warmer weather and probably not so windy conditions. And then also it had 19-inch wheels, but it was Nokian Hakkapeliitta R3. So you see that roughly the same consumption, but then because we have a bigger battery, then we actually get more range. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's not only that upgrade. I feel like now that we have better soundproofing, nice interior, faster charging, even more comfortable ride, then this is almost the perfect car. Or actually, what would make it the perfect car? Maybe slightly better infotainment. But the infotainment is pretty good, but I feel like maybe Polestar, Tesla, and NIO, they have like top-notch infotainment. But that's like the only thing, or one of the few things that holds back to say that this is the perfect car. But it's like almost perfect. Ooh, yeah. Okay, anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.